Baby doll Kalan, in 1979, we had Arthur Burns, the US Fed chairman. You know how we have major loser Powell? Well, Arthur Burns, like, I think inflation was about 7% per year, 6 or 7% back in 1979. It was actually the baby boomers. They were starting to like spend money. Okay. So they were like in their 20s and 30s, the baby boomers. That's why it was very inflationary, because you had baby boomers, a lot of population growth split after World War II. Now, 1979, what happened was Arthur Burns, like I said, inflation was about, I think, 6%. He left interest rates at about 4 or 5. So he left rates at like 5%, and inflation was like 6. And inflation got out of hand for like 7 years, 6 years. It was just killing everybody. The inflation was too high. Interest rates were not high enough. That's when what happened in 1979 was everybody got this momentum run feed. That's why gold went up. Gold caught a bid. And it was actually funny. Remember 1971, you had the Richard Nixon. They went off the gold. They went off the gold standard for the US dollar. So then gold had this massive super speculative run, which is then it went, you can actually see it on that chart, right? Right, he went literally to the moon. Gold went absolutely tremendous. But what ends up happening is it comes all the way back down. So I know we say paper money's backed by nothing, but it was a bit of a... The crowd was wrong, because the US dollar, even though it's fiat poo-poo, it was backed by the US Army network around the world, which was backed by oil. So that's why the US dollar actually spread its network effect all over the world, and it was able to have a bid. And that's why America, basically America, they sell oil to the rest of the world, and so it has to trade in US dollar. And you can't hoard like oil for like more than 2 months supply. So you have to keep buying the US dollar. So that they used all of that, and that helped keep a bid on the US dollar. That's why gold could not maintain a bid up there. But here we are moving up again. But here's the thing, man. I personally think that what's actually going to happen is something like that with gold. And that's a long time. So for all you baby dolls out there, you want to see my original post here. Gold is at major resistance. Okay, so I've made this special video here for Kalan, but it's very useful for everyone out here. That's why I've turned it into a full high-value content video here for you. So what I've actually done is, some people were confused initially, right? This, friends, this is not just the gold price, okay? This is gold divided by the money supply of America. Gold divided by M2SL, okay? That's the code out there. So, because if you look at gold's price, right, it busts above $4,000, right, per ounce. So you can actually see it. When you look at Goldie McGold, by the time you see it, the price is moving quite fast. We're just showing you ahead of time. So this is gold, right? Busts and goes up and up and up and up and up, all right? That's gold. And I'm actually just going to show you the monthly chart of gold, which is this, okay? So this linear chart, friends, it doesn't tell you anything. You got to look at the log chart of these, so you can see these things over very long periods of time. So if you look at that 1979 period, it was here. That was this huge speculative run. You see that? And what I can just do is show you this chart here to highlight. If you look here closely on the right-hand side, this is 1970s starting. Look here, friends, where you can see, right, the orange line. You see the CPI, annual change, the KIPI? Look how high it was in the 70s. It was 8 to 10%, man. You see this is looking at the right-hand line, okay? What I'll do is I'll just show you you can see where mouse cursor is. It goes actually up to as high as 12%. So in the 70s, what happened was, remember, we had Arthur Burns. Now we've got major loser, but Arthur Burns, I'll show you. So Arthur Burns, Fed chairman. Right, it's kind of funny, right? He kept rates at like 5%. Here he is, okay? And that's why a lot of people believed that America and the world was going to have a recession in 2023, because they believed that, and this is true. They said major loser Powell, he wants to not be considered the next Arthur Burns, because Arthur Burns, they saw him as like a weak chairman, because he did not have the balls to put America in a recession to cut the inflation. But still, the interest rates are pretty high. Remember, the interest rates were like 5%. It's just that the KIPI was like 6. All right? Okay? So that's what happened. So if you want to tame the inflation, you've got to put the rates and spike it above the inflation rate. Okay? So if the inflation rate is like 5% and it's hot, right? On average, you've got to crank it up to 6. You know, that's why you might say as well, like, but Somi, right now, the Kippy's like 3%. Why are their rates still like 4? Yeah, it's you know, it's because they're like the US economy is strong, right? The stock market, the smelly poop is through the highs. So they're okay with taking a bit of their time to cut rates because they do not want people misallocating capital, which is like basically buying dog coins up 100 billion market cap. That's very inflationary. Inflationary meaning you desecrate the US dollar. You don't care about hoarding it anymore, okay? So that's why you have Arthur Burns and Mr. Major Loser. And that's why Donald Trump is coming out and he's saying, dude, cut the rates, cut the rates. But Major Loser Powell, he's like, look, man, I've come this whole far. If I start cutting the rates too aggressively and inflation spikes up, then I've ruined my whole legacy. That's basically the political part of all of it, okay? But friends, if you see this part, gold is literally at a major resistance, okay? This is the gold versus M2SL. What I've done is just drawn this channel. It really is here. You can see this as some super hyperbolic explosive run, which is what happened. That's why I'm here giving you this informational piece of history, so you have to understand what's happening. So what I can actually do is we can go to where we are today, and that's why, friends, looking at the USD price doesn't tell you poop. Okay, it literally doesn't tell you poop. It just tells you, yeah, whatever. There's big moves and, you know, things happen. But if I show you as well, I mean, like gold, right, hitting it up here, depending on where you want to start the Fibonacci's as well. I think this is the highest fib. Yeah, so gold hits the 3rd fib. Wow, the 4th fib is 4,500. So you never know. It could always like spike up here, just hitting a very, very high extension. And you know what might be interesting? Let's actually check out. This is gold. Let's see its Fibonacci from this. Oh, wow, it's blown above this, right? So it's very, very, very extended. But that doesn't actually tell you much, right? Because you're just looking at the USD price. That's why it's really important to remove that just that USD reliance and look at the how much money they printed factor, which is the gold versus M2SL. That's why I like to use this here. All right, but you can see, right, this channel here, this channel that you can see, it is some sort of, some channel that's been major critical point over time. Now, important, remember, I said it's 3-month chart. So like, even if, and by the way, gold can just do this, right, and do that. And by the way, look at this. We're up to 2031 now. So yeah, man, you know, it might bust up. It might bust up, spend 5 years doing this, and it might bust up like that over time. We'll see, though. Look, there's no guarantee. I know it looks like, oh, inflation. Look, you don't know what the economy is going to look like in the 2030s, man. We're going to have AI agents. We're going to have robots. Guess what? America's robots, they're going to accept one currency, the US dollar. There you go. There's another bid. You get it? They always find a way to make everybody hold the currency. Okay, so people are going to have this scare. Oh no, gold. The gold's great, friends. Gold's great. Hedge you for every single country. It's amazing. If we didn't have crypto, it would probably be gold and silver bugs. But I'm just telling you, crypto's faster. It is cool to have this, but man, I would not be touching it here. You know, if you really want to play for this move over time. So if I had a strategy, let's say for the next, here's the thing. Let's actually draw this rectangle. Let's say for the next 6 to 7 years. I know it's like such a long time, man. There's so many things can happen in crypto. If you really want to DCA over time, what I'll do is over here, you would have a portion of gold as your savings. Okay, now this is the best part. Now, of course, if you don't have physical gold, you don't really have it. But in crypto, we have PAX Gold, PAXG. It just tracks the price. So like if someone really wanted to have a hedge for like the next 8 years, you could, if you wanted to, you decide on your portfolio weight. Maybe you'd want to do 50% USD, 50% gold. That's like your savings, okay? Something with that as well. That's not a guarantee, but remember in crypto, friends, it's so volatile. You know, let's play some Pumpy G music for us. Oh yeah. Crypto's so volatile, friends, and we're still early enough where like you don't need to really do that. Why? Because the crypto dips, the Bitcoin dip, the Ethereum dip, it's like a nuclear holocaust itself. You know, it's 50% at least, 50, 60, 75%. Big catastrophic dips. So your US dollar, if you're holding US dollar, it's really valuable when something's dipping. quite a lot. But you don't expect that to happen over time. Maybe in the 2030s, friends, Bitcoin doesn't do 60% drops anymore. Maybe it only does 30 to 50% drops. That's very possible, you know? So at that point, like, you know, having dollar stable coins, it's not really as effective to buy that. It's like trying to time gold itself. So I just want to show you this as well. Just so I hope you're learning this. Like and subscribe, friends. Share with your friends and family. Don't forget he loves you. If you look at gold, friends, I know these things like it looks like there's waves, but this thing is like it does not drop as much. I mean, you got to think about this. This was the biggest nuclear run-up of all time, and gold dropped 67%. All right, it dropped 69. This is like literally, and by the way, this is a very long time. Yeah, this was monstrous. I mean, talk about this. It's down after 21 years, okay? But normally, if you're looking at gold, look at this 30% drop. This one was huge, okay? This is 45%, you know? Look at this one, 22%. So you can never buy the bottoms. You never know where it's going to go. 22%. You see that? So maybe when gold comes and it stops up here, what's it going to drop? Like 25%? Somewhere, maybe 20, 25%. So the dips aren't really like, you know, they're not as juicy and almost opportunistic like they are in crypto, you know? And all of this is coming from one place, friends. Remember, I've shown you the people with waiting outside the doors to come buy gold. Let's actually have another peek at that. So I made this picture here. It's quite funny. Gold's great, friends. Gold is analog network effect. Gold's OG money. Okay, gold's OG money. Could be China buying it. China have been dumping their treasuries, US treasuries. You know, then you have the BRICS nations. The world's changing, new world order. You know, they're trying to basically kill the system before the very end, doing this major money printing stuff. Okay. But look at this. This is the gold price chart on the right. Friends, these are real pictures. Okay, people are literally lining out the door across the block just to buy gold. Retail FOMO, exit liquidity. Okay, so I have all the soy jacks like, wow, wow, wow. Like I said, gold's amazing, gold's great. Yeah, does nothing, $4,200 an ounce. You guys had literally, what, like 7 years to buy it at $1,300, $1,100, $1,500, $1,800. Where were you? Didn't care about it, did you? They have to come in. Got to get it, got to get it. Also, you got Peter Schiff, Uncle Peter Schiff saying it's going to be at $6,000 by December. Yeah. I hope so. It sounds like a very euphoric blow-off type of call. You know what I mean? So, enjoy this picture, friends. This is retail. Like, why I show you this is we want to see this, man. Get inspired for the future. Humans ain't changing, man. That's how they control us, friends. They, non-human intelligence, whatever they are. We got the fear button. Yeah? Friends, why are these people lining up? FOMO. We are all controlled through fear. Because you see a green candle, we tend to forget, oh, is there green candles? We're meant to feel good. No. You got to think about the people who are not in. They have fear that they've missed out. FOMO, fear of missing out. It's what actually everybody feels right now. Oh, I've missed out on the bull market. Fear is how we're all controlled. We're all controlled through fear. Why do I put 5 ice cubes? Why not 1? Sometimes 1. Sometimes. But a lot of the times I try to put 3 or 5 ice cubes. Why? Fear that it will become room temperature water faster than I expect. Why do I have a straight posture? Fear that I start bending. Fear. We are all controlled by fear, the F word. So I've given you the big historical look at what is actually going on with gold and this big catastrophic blow up. Now, is it possible gold does some sort of massive run up? Yeah, it is possible. But look, friends, it could always come back, dip down. We could have another speculative run. You just don't know. Okay, that's why a lot of, say, Uncle Ray Dalio, they have gold as the pure insurance, just in case there's that one period. And you know what? If you intend to stay alive with me, I don't know how long. The amount that, look, with how hard I'm working and how zero negative reward we've received in this godforsaken market in 5 years, I'm surprised I'm still alive at this point. I should be dead. But if we do make it and our godforsaken garbage crypto can actually go up once for 5 years and stop scamming us, if we actually make it to better times in the future, I promise you, not guarantee, I promise, which is higher than a guarantee, okay? There will be a crypto cycle where we get the Joker card scenario. What's the Joker card scenario? US dollar goes down, Bitcoin goes down, gold goes up. Okay? At some point. Yeah. That is, it's never happened before, but that is a very rare scenario. That might be, you never know, 5% chance. But if we hang around long enough, we're going to get it one day. Where the world vomits everything out because of too much debt. We just don't know when. That's why it's insurance. So maybe it's wise for you and me to start preparing for this world at some point, right? That's in a bear market, okay? For goldy gold right here. You just don't know, okay? So think about it, right? That's the best part about crypto, man. We've got PAX Gold, friends. It's really cool. It is cool that we're just bringing everything to crypto. You don't need to go do KYC and sign up to all this stuff out here. Remember as well, very important, there is this wonderful chart out here. It shows, I've shown you this before, right? The bottom is gold. Orange is gold. The top is Bitcoin. When gold stops and starts distributing, Bitcoin goes up on the actual true bull run, okay? So it happened here again. So gold ran up and then gold literally stopped here. This is the moment gold topped out. You don't know it's exactly topping out. Could have topped anywhere along the way, but it's topped out here. Bitcoin goes on its traditional bull run, okay? And that's obviously, we have double bubble alt season. So we are waiting. We are praying. At some point here, gold stops. And we're hoping it repeats again. We're hoping gold does its chart like that, and then Bitcoin can go on its true friendship bull run. Okay, gold is risk off. So I've given you context of everything what's happening with gold. Yes, there's going to be people punting the gold stocks, the silver stocks. You know, we're going to see a lot of that stuff. You're probably going to see Hyperliquid put PAX Silver. Is there PAX Silver? I don't even know. Maybe there is, but there's definitely PAX Gold, right? Maybe people get to trade them. We have this renaissance of commodities coming back because we're in a monetary debasement period, and they're debasing at 8% per year, right? So you now have the full synopsis. That's why, man, like, it just depends. Like, you got to think, man, like, if there's a crypto bear market coming, like blockchain back and everyone says, I'm just like thinking, bro, just, you know, when you sell crypto, you hold US dollar, right? Yeah. They're debasing you at 8% per year, Habib. You know? They're debasing at 8% per year. They're running it inflationary. They're paying off the debt that way. Just, I just hope, friends, I just hope that we make it out alive. That's all. Because it's been very, very tough. You know? I like this candle all the time. All the time. Never given up. You know? Many soldiers have fallen. But you and I are going to make it. Like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you in the next one.